What is a learner's diary? It is your companion for life that will record everything you learn in a webinar in one single notebook, so that you can use the lessons you have learned later in life anytime. You may be thinking that there's nothing special about this diary. After all, what I'm doing is only taking notes from all the webinars in just one notebook. Well, if you do that, you might get benefited, but not always. I will give you a method to create a diary in such a way that it won't be just notes but real lessons for you. Keep a diary with you always whenever you are taking a session from a webinar, and keep one single diary. Take the short notes in the webinar. After you are done with your sessions, revisit your notes the same day before sleeping and expand on it. For every point that you have jotted down, write a description and an example. Also, draw a picture to make it easy to understand and remember. After you have done that, write how and where you can apply this lesson. Do this for your entire set of notes. Do this the same day that you have attended the webinar, because if you take longer than 8 hours, you will forget most of it. Now you may be thinking that, is it not a waste of time again? First, I had the opportunity cost of 1 hour, and then expanding on my notes will take another hour, which means I would end up spending 2 hours on the webinar. So my opportunity cost would be 5,000 if we take forward the previous example. But don't forget that 80-20 division. If you invest 1 more hour, then instead of taking 20%, you will be taking at least 80% of the learning, which means something you're doing is right. And if even this 80% of learning is not really important for you, why attend the webinar at all? No one is pushing you. Now, if you're taking a paid webinar, your consumption capacity will automatically increase from 20% to 50% at least, if you shell out the amount that pinches you a little. And when you do this activity after the webinar, your learning will soar to maybe 95%. But the real magic will not yet be visible, because so far you have only learnt it. You haven't yet applied your lessons. When you will do that, you will feel the real power of learning. So how do you apply? Well, application can differ from person to person. It can differ with profession also. I might not be able to give you the exact way to apply webinar lessons to your life, but I can definitely give you examples of how I applied the lessons in my life. Watch the next video to hear my stories.